We are in Isaiah 43 today. You may hear an air conditioner and a fan running in the background because it's over 100 degrees outside and not much cooler than that in here. Roughly page 447 in the scriptures. But now, thus said Yahweh, your creator, O Jacob, Jacob being Israel, and he who formed you, O Israel, do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by your name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I am with you, and through rivers, they do not overflow you. When you walk through fire, you are not scorched, and a flame does not burn you. For I am Yahweh, your Elohim, the set-apart one of Israel, your Savior. I gave Mitzrayim for your ransom, Cush and Seba in your place. Since you were precious in my eyes, you have been esteemed, and I have loved you. And I give men in your place and peoples for your life. Do not fear, for I am with you. I shall bring your seed from the east and gather you from the west. And I shall say to the north, give them up, and to the south, do not keep them back. Bring my sons from afar and my daughters from the ends of the earth. All those who are called by my name, whom I have created, formed, even made for my glory. He shall bring out a blind people who have eyes, and deaf ones who have ears. All the nations shall be assembled, and the peoples be gathered. Who among them declares this, and show us former events? Let them give their witnesses to be declared right, or let them hear and say, it is truth. You are my witnesses, declares Yahweh, and my servant whom I have chosen, so that you know and believe me, and understand that I am he. Before me there was no El formed, nor after me there is none. I am Yahweh, and besides me there is no Savior. I have declared and saved and made known, and there is no foreign false god amongst you. And you are my witnesses, declares Yahweh, that I am El. Even from this day I am he, and no one delivers out of my hand. I work, and who turns it back? Thus said Yahweh, your Redeemer, the set-apart one of Israel. For your sake I shall send to Babel, and bring them down as fugitives, even the Kasdim who rejoice in their ships. I am Yahweh, your set-apart one, creator of Israel, your king. Thus said Yahweh, who makes a way in the sea and a path through the mighty waters, who brings forth the chariot and horse, the army and the power. They lie down together, they do not rise, they have been extinguished, they have been quenched like a wick. Do not remember the former events, nor consider the events of old. See, I am doing what is new. Let it now spring forth. Do you not know it? I am even making a way in the wilderness, and rivers in the desert. The beast of the field esteems me, the jackals and the ostriches, because I have given waters in the wilderness and rivers in the desert to give drink to my people, my chosen. This people I have formed for myself. Let them relate my praise. But you have not called on me, O Jacob. You have been weary of me, O Israel. You have not brought me the sheep for your ascending offerings, nor have you glorified me with your slaughterings. I have not caused you to serve with grain offerings, nor wearied you with incense. You've not brought me sweet cane with silver, nor have you satisfied me with the fat of your slaughterings. You've only burdened me with your sins. You've wearied me with your crookedness. I am he who blots out your transgressions for my own sake, and remember your sins no more. Remind me, let us enter into judgment together. Relate, that you might be declared right. First, your father sinned, and your interpreters have transgressed against me. So I have profaned the chief ones of the set-apart place, and I have delivered up Jacob to the curse and Israel to scorn. To the curse, Deuteronomy 28, the curse of the Torah, which is death for disobedience. Chapter 44. But now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. Thus said Yahweh, who made you and formed you from the womb, who helps you. Do not fear, O Jacob, my servant, and Yeshurun, the upright one, whom I have chosen. For I pour water on the thirsty and floods on the dry ground. I pour my spirit on your seed and my blessing on your offspring, and they shall spring up among the grass like willows by streams of water. One says, I belong to Yahweh. Another calls himself by the name of Jacob. Another writes with his hand unto Yahweh, and names himself by the names of Israel. Thus said Yahweh, King of Israel, and his Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts. I am the first, and I am the last. Besides me there is no Elohim. And who is like me? Let him call and declare it, lay it before me, since I appointed the everlasting people. And the events that are coming, and those who do come, let them declare these to them. Do not fear, nor be afraid. Have I since made you hear and declared it? You are my witnesses. Is there an Eloah, a God besides me? There is no other rock, I know not one. Those who make an idol, all of them are emptiness, and their delights do not profit. And they are their own witnesses. They neither see nor know, so that they are put to shame. Who would form a mighty one or cast an idol that is of no value? See, all his companions are ashamed, and the workmen, they are but men. Let them all be gathered together. Let them stand up. Let them fear. Let them be put to shame altogether. The craftsman in iron with the tools works one in the coals, and fashions it with hammers, and works it with the strength of his arms. Even so, he shall be hungry and has no strength. He drinks no water and is weary. The carpenter stretches out his rule. He outlines it with chalk. He fashions it with a plane. He outlines it with the compass and makes it like the figure of a man, according to the comeliness of a man, to remain in the house. He cuts down cedars for himself, and takes cypress and oak, which he raised among the trees of the forest. He has planted a pine, and rain nourishes it. But it shall be for a man to burn, for he takes some of it and warms himself. He also kindles it and shall bake bread. He also makes a mighty one and bows himself to it, has made it a carved image and falls down before it. Half of it he shall burn with the fire, and with this half he eats meat. He roasts a roast and is satisfied. He also warms himself and says, Aha, I am warm, I have seen the fire. And the rest of it he makes into a false god, his carved image. He falls down before it and worships. He prays to it and says, Deliver me, for you are my mighty one, my false god. They do not know nor understand, for he, Yahweh, has smeared their eyes from seeing and their hearts from understanding. And no one recalls it to his heart, nor is their knowledge nor understanding to say, I have burned half of it in the fire, and I've also baked bread on its coals. I've roasted meat and eaten it. And shall I make the rest of it an abomination? Should I fall down before a log of wood? Feeding on ashes, a deceived heart turns aside. He does not deliver his being, his soul, nor says, Is there not a lie in my right hand? Remember these matters, O Jacob and Israel, for you are my servant. I have formed you. You are my servant, O Israel. Do not forget me. I shall wipe out your transgressions like a cloud, and your sins like a mist. Return to me, for I shall redeem you. Sing, O heavens, for Yahweh shall do it. Shout, O depths of the earth. Break forth into singing, O mountains, forest, and every tree in it. For Yahweh shall redeem Jacob and make himself clear in Israel. Thus said Yahweh your Redeemer, and he who formed you from the womb. I am Yahweh, doing all, stretching out the heavens all alone, spreading out the earth with none beside me, frustrating the signs of the babblers and driving diviners mad, turning wise men backwards and making their knowledge foolish, confirming the word of his servant and completing the counsel of his messengers, who said to Jerusalem, Be inhabited, and the cities of Judah, they shall be built and her ruins raised up by me. Who is saying to the deep, Be dry, and your rivers I dry up. Who is saying of Koresh, He is my shepherd, and he completes all my pleasure. Even saying to Jerusalem, Let her be built, and to the Hekal, the temple, let her foundation be laid. Yahweh does not appreciate false worship. something you might want to think about. And I could speak for another half an hour on the subject, but I don't feel led to right now. Read your Bible with your eyeballs and put your face in the dirt and cry out to your Creator, your Redeemer, your Savior, and don't just take my words for it, because there are so many of you that want to kick against the prods and Yah doesn't care about what you think is right. He loved you enough to tell you what he knows is right. And I love you enough to tell you as well what Yah said is right. And I will not tickle your ears with half-truths to make you feel good about yourself if it jeopardizes the disposition of your eternal soul. Bless y'all. Shalom.